Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great week. I hope you're looking forward to an exciting weekend where you can enjoy the fall, the cooler weather, the leaves changing, all of the things that we look forward to. School's back in session, sports are on TV. Feels a little bit more like normal anyway, huh? But it's not been normal, and that's the reality. This coming Sunday is our first Sunday back inside full time, and we know that you probably have some questions, and what we wanted to do is just give you some clarity on some of the things that we're aware of. Now, we did know that this has been a time where, with a lot of prayer and consideration, because there's so much uncertainty. There's so much information in the world that makes it really challenging, and it's hard to know what to trust. So in those times, what we have done here at the church is asked ourselves, what is wise? What is Christ-like? Over and over again, what is Christ-like? What is wise? As we move through this time. And that's what led us to this decision to come back inside with the weather really kind of a little bit more unpredictable going forward. So I want to encourage you to do the same. It is easy to find information to support how you feel and then take firm stances. And I've gotten very comfortable with saying, I don't know. It's possible. I would encourage you to take on that mentality too. To not get too white-knuckled on your thoughts and to think about others, to have the mind of Christ, to put others ahead of yourself. That's the backdrop of all of our decisions here as we've moved through this time. With that said, I do want to give you some clarification though, so you can have expectations and make an informed decision for yourself and your family. First thing I want to tell you is that we'll be streaming all of our services on our YouTube channel or our website at ironmountaincovenant.com. You can find us there. It'll be right on the front page. Since we're back indoors, it's a little easier for us to do that. If you don't feel comfortable coming, completely understandable. We get that. There's a lot of reasons why people make those decisions, but I want you to be aware that there is the option for you to continue to worship with us even digitally. If you do come to our campus here in Iron Mountain, that's great. We have made precautions to do what the governor has called us to do in this situation. Churches are exempt. We're aware of this, but we still think that it is Christ-like and wise to distance ourselves and to strongly recommend mask. Of course, if you have legitimate reasons not to wear a mask, we're going to practice kindness and we're going to believe the best in each other, that's the case. But if you don't, and I know that they're annoying and I know that they're not the most comfortable things to wear, but I still can't get past the idea of putting others above ourselves and to try to practice what Christ has told us in uncertainty without knowing. I don't know how effective they are. I don't know how ineffective they are. But what I know is we've been asked to do that, and out of a heart of love and kindness for one another, we'll submit, we'll bear with one another, and strongly recommend mask. And if you are able to walk up and down stairs, we would ask that you would be more likely to head up to the balcony area to allow people who can't climb the stairs the floor seating in our sanctuary. We ask that you spread out. You'll find out that in our sanctuary we have every other pew marked off, blocked off. We would ask that you would sit with your family or those that you live with and then try to create space as best as you can. We are going to be singing in our service. So when you come in, you're going to have a chance to worship through song. It's an important part of what we do. We want you to be aware of that though. So especially wearing our mask in those high contact times are important for us as we move through this time. There are some other differences that you're going to see as you walk into the church though. A few things, minor things, as we've asked the question a lot. We've heard a lot of talk about what's essential, right? Well, it's given us a chance to evaluate and to think about what's possible and what's essential for us as we worship. A few things you'll notice fairly quickly is we do have some signs as you come in, and then we have face mask and hand sanitizer available as you come in. But one of the most noticeable things you'll see first is the bulletin is now just a half sheet of paper. And on that are some of the things that we find to be the most essential, some informational pieces, some things that are great for what's upcoming, our events, our weekly schedule, who's called to be ushers or greeters for the time, those kind of things that you'll find on that sheet of paper. The rest of the service will just kind of flow. You'll have the opportunity to just respond as we walk through that time. You'll notice that. I know in the past people have asked about prayer requests, and in our bulletin we've placed those too, and we've had a few instances where people weren't comfortable having their name in the bulletin, and we had other people asking about follow-up. So the next thing that you're going to notice is that as you enter the sanctuary, across the room there used to be two pews there. we removed those. We're in the process of making that a new communication station. And on that wall, you're going to see a list, that's our prayer board, and two different colors pieces of paper, one blue and one purple. The blue one is for the prayer requests that you might have. We would encourage you to put prayer requests on there, but we would ask that you would only put the names of people that you've gotten permission to do that for. Otherwise, leave it nameless and we'll just pray and God will know the request at a time. Then pin it up on the board. And then others throughout the morning will have a chance to come and to see those things and to keep those in prayer. It's going to be a more interactive board, and we're really excited about that. The purple ones are for praise, for the answers to prayer, or things that God has been doing that we can point to. We'll still start off our service with a time of thanksgiving, but this prayer board and praise board is going to be a chance for us to, at our own pace, at our own times, as maybe people are trafficking in and out, to go and to look at the board. Another thing you will notice is that we won't be taking up offering. God has been very faithful, and He's blessed us in a lot of ways to maintain and to sustain as we've thought about being good stewards and how we can best fulfill the mission that Christ has left for us. You'll see these two wooden boxes in the sanctuary, one by the front and one in the back of the sanctuary. If this is your church home, that's where you could do it. It's also available online, or you can mail a check to the church office if you choose to. We have no plans though at this point to be passing the offering plate again. If you're a guest, no pressure. If you feel led to, if you feel God is wanting you to do that, completely fine. But if you are a guest, feel free just to be a guest. But the offering boxes are the new way that we're going to be doing offering. Once we get into our service and we kind of get going to our normal routine, we come to the children's portion of our service. And what we have decided, typically we were doing children's Sunday school during our service as well. Pastor Steve will still be doing his children's sermons. We're excited for that. And then afterwards, children's K through 6 will be taken for a time of children's church. We're going to practice all of our precautions that we can. We have children's masks, and if you have masks for your children, that's great also, as we try to serve our families the best that we can with that. You notice that blocks off a few ages. At this time, we don't have nursery available or toddler care available because of staffing and volunteer issues at this time. We hope to bring those back as soon as possible as we kind of get back into the flow to see what our expectations are, as this, again, is a very fluid time for us, and we're walking in faith and trusting God to provide. What I would also tell you, too, if you're a parent, if you don't feel comfortable with your kids going, no worries, no pressure. Lots of liberty here. If you want your children to stay with you in the service, that's great. If they cry and throw fits, no problems. We've said around here a lot, if there's no crying, the church is dying. We get it. A lot of us have been parents. We've been there. We're with you. We support you. What I would also tell you is in the back of the sanctuary, there's something we call the cry room. It's a room that's got the sermons piped into it through a speaker, but it's set apart, and it is a room with a glass wall that you can see what's going on and still have your children there with you without maybe the anxiety of how they're acting. And then finally, I would point you to our website. On our website, there is a ton of information. We keep it updated. Small group information is starting again. Small groups Wednesday nights at 5:45 for adults. Any adults welcome to that. At 7 o'clock, a men's group is meeting. And then starting on Monday, September 20th, the women's group will be meeting via Zoom and in person. You'll have that option. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us throughout this time. So that's a lot of information that I just hit you with. But we wanted to give you some idea of what's going to be happening. So just to wrap up here, we've marked off pews for social distancing. We're strongly recommending masks if you can as an act of love and kindness to others. We're asking those who are able to move upstairs. We have a half-sheet bulletin now, which will give you kind of some key information. Our offering boxes are there for you to place your offerings and gifts to the Lord. We have the prayer board to check out, children's church for K through 6, cry room for those who would need it for nursery age children, and then all the other information, live streaming too. So lots of good things. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. We love you. We're with you. We're excited to continue to worship together as we move through this time still of uncertainty as we just see what's happening. But through it all, here's what that we keep saying. Our mission has not changed. We are still called to evangelize our community, to disciple believers, to teach them to obey all that Christ has commanded us, and to be doers of God's word. We would love to have you join us. We're excited for this time. And if you can't make it, we would love to hear your ideas also for how we can best reach out to those who are not comfortable meeting at this time. You're heavy on our hearts and minds as well. So in closing, take care. Be Christ-like. Be wise. Be open. Get curious, not furious. And I'll see you Sunday. Much love.